This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
.45, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. The President says permission will not be given to destroy any forest resources in the country. The Governor of the Central Bank says Lanka QR system is successful. The government is ready to face the proposals of the United Nations Human Rights Council. Measures to amend the Local Government Bodies Act. The use of plastic will be banned from the 31st of March. The corona recoveries increase. And in news overseas, photos show Perseverance about to touch down in Mars. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the local news. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that permission will not be given for anyone to destroy the forest resources. He made these remarks while participating in the 11th stage of the Gamma Samaga Pilisandara program held at Nelumwawa area in the Kaluwaragaswawa in Potala. The president engaged in a friendly discussion with the students of the junior school in Muriakalawa in Tabova. The president presented many solutions for the problems submitted by the people in the area. The Governor of the Central Bank, Professor W.D. Lakshman, says that the digitalization of paying money is successful. He said there is a progress of using the new system according to the international standards. He made these remarks at a ceremony held in Galle area yesterday. The objective of this program is to encourage people to make payments on digitalization system through Lanka QR system. This system will help the businessmen and the consumers to enhance their transactions speedily and increase safety. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says that the government is ready to face the proposals that are to be submitted to the Human Rights Council against Sri Lanka. Several countries are ready to submit these proposals. The government also emphasized that the proposals of the Human Rights Commissioner cannot be implemented under the constitution of the country. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
And we continue with more local news. The government says Local Government Bodies Act will be amended in order to increase the income of the institutions. It is needed to amend this act to suit the present time, and the act is about 30 years old. Minister Janaka Bandara Thendakon says another move of this program is to obtain more people's participation in local government activities. The Central Environmental Authority says the use of items made of polythene and plastic will be prohibited from the 31st of March. According to a Gazette Extraordinary issued by the Minister on January 21st, the use of several polythene and plastic making materials has been banned from the use for any processes, trade or industry after 31st of March 2021. This includes PET, PVC materials used for packing, agrochemicals, sachets having less than or equal to a net volume of 20 ml and a net weight of 20 grams except for packing food and medicines, inflatable toys except for balloons, balls, water floating, pool toys and water sports gear, and cotton buds with plastic stems except for the plastic cotton buds used for medical or clinical treatment. Army Commander General Shavendra Silva confirmed that Sri Lanka reported 257 new infections of novel coronavirus yesterday. Accordingly, the total count of COVID-19 cases reported in the country reached 79,194. As per the Health Ministry's data, 73,456 of the confirmed patients have recovered so far. However, 5,305 active cases are still under medical care at selected hospitals and treatment centers located across the island. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka has witnessed 433 deaths from the virus so far. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. The President says permission will not be given to anyone to destroy forest resources in the country. The Governor of the Central Bank says Lanka QR system is successful. The government is ready to face the proposals of the United Nations Human Rights Council. measures to amend the Local Government Bodies Act. The use of plastic will be banned from the 31st of March. Corona recoveries have increased, and that was the local news.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356 888.
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The main news story for this morning, the Ministry of Education says a program to begin 796 new national schools will be initiated during this month. The program will be carried out under 2 stages. 123 schools will begin under the first stage, and under the second stage, 673 schools will be developed as national schools. 1.95 billion rupees will be allocated for this purpose. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And in Washington this morning, our city hospital group is conducting several clinics free of charge. These clinics are conducted on weekdays. Special privileges will also be provided for the patients who arrive at clinics. Eye clinics will be conducted on Mondays and Tuesdays. Clinics for neurology will be conducted on Fridays and Saturdays. And that came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. Photos show Perseverance about a touchdown in Mars. At least 2 killed as police disperse protesters in Myanmar. British Prime Minister pledges surplus to poorer countries at G7. Those were the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the world news. The American Space Agency has released an astonishing image sent back from Mars by its Perseverance rover. It shows the robot heading down to the ground on Thursday to make its landing. It was acquired by the rocket cradle that is placed on the vehicles on the surface. Perseverance has a large amount of data in its memory banks, which is gradually offloading to the Earth. Among the other pictures is a view from the satellite that captured the rover in parachute's phase of its descent. This also represents an immense technical achievement. At least 2 people have been killed during a protest in Myanmar against the military coup. Police used live ammunition to disperse the demonstrators in Mandalay, the local media and medical staff reported. Hundreds had gathered for a rally at a shipyard in Myanmar's second largest city. Several were injured, reportedly by live fire and rubber bullets. Myanmar has seen weeks of protests following a coup which overthrew Aung San Suu Kyi's elected government. Boris Johnson is pledging to donate most of the UK surplus vaccine supply to poorer countries in a speech to a virtual G7 meeting yesterday. He urged rich countries to back the 100-day target of the developing new vaccines for the future emerging diseases. The UK has ordered more than 400 million doses of various vaccines, so many will be left over all at once all the adults are vaccinated. But anti-poverty campaigners say the UK is not doing enough. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. Photos show Perseverance about to touch down in Mars. At least 2 killed as police disperse protesters in Myanmar. British Prime Minister pledges surplus to poorer countries at G7. And that was the world news.
World News. to you by courtesy of
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, 138 canals and tanks in the Galle district will be renovated. These renovation activities will be carried out under the Vadi Saubhagya program. Galle district office of the irrigation department says nearly 1 million rupees will be spent for this program. From that, we move on to sports news. Sports school will be developed. 250 million rupees has been allocated for this purpose. The objective of this move is to provide infrastructure facilities in order for children to compete at national and international arenas and be victorious. Priority will be given to develop school playgrounds and to construct hostels. 12 schools are to be developed during this year with the support of 3 armed forces. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, the Commercial Bank of Ceylon was recently presented with the award for being one of the 10 most admired companies in Sri Lanka in 2019-2020 by the International Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka in collaboration with the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. The award was accepted on behalf of the bank by its Managing Director R.S. Ranganathan at the Bandanayake Memorial International Conference Hall. This is the third time the bank was honoured with this accolade. The award was presented to the bank for being a cut above the rest in terms of its value it creates for its shareholders, customers, employees and the wider community in general. That was the business news, and economic news follows.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News. Courtesy of
Just move on real time, save more, LOLC real time. Paying the premium for transactions, simply save now real time. Day night, no trouble for your transactions. LOLC real time. Download LOLC Finance real time app for your LOLC savings account. Attractive interest rates, transactions anytime, anywhere with a zero cost and more benefits.
And in economic news, State Minister Ajit Niwad Cabral says that the government was able to develop the local business activities and enhance the local entrepreneurs even with the COVID pandemic. He said the government's objective is to strengthen the local economy. That was the economic news and the weather report to conclude.
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And finally, the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the western, Sabarakamuwa and north central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura district during the evening or night. Fairly heavy falls, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places. Few showers will occur in the eastern, northern, north central and Uva provinces and in the Mathale and Nur Eli districts. And before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. The President says permission will not be given to anyone to destroy the forest resources in the country. The Governor of the Central Bank says Lanka QR system is successful. The government is ready to face the proposals of the United Nations Human Rights Council. Measures to amend the Local Government Bodies Act. The use of plastic will be banned from the 31st of March. Corona recoveries increased. And in news overseas, photos show perseverance about to touch down in Mars. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. I know it's back to your good friend and my good friend as well, Sunday morning host today, Mario, to brighten up your day.